afternoon, Christian woman, Christian woman. Okay, really quick because I'm still in the middle of a work day. Okay, so I want to further expound on my post about the 5 traits you want to look at in a relationship or while you're dating. Okay, someone who's emotionally disciplined. That was number 1. Okay, again, this is not about perfection. This is about looking at, observing, and being aware of how people manage their internal world. So emotionally disciplined. For example, if someone is angry, okay, this can go for anyone. Do they fly off the handle all the time? They have a complete meltdown. They throw things. They smash things. They scream. They holler. They call names. They go at the jugular. They lowball. You know, they say nasty things about you. They're very passive aggressive and very hurtful. If you're seeing this as a pattern, that is something you don't want to ignore. Okay? Seems like it's obvious, but again, as a therapist and as a coach, I see it all the time. And someone who is not emotionally disciplined, who cannot regulate themselves, again, this is no criticism, right? This is no judgment. They need to work on those areas and not make other people pay for that. Because remember, if you're dating someone for marriage, you're talking about spending the rest of your life with someone, going through storms and valleys. Father God will be with you, of course, through the storms and the valleys. However, you want to make sure the person that you're viewing and you're dating is someone that God sent you. Ask yourself, did God send you someone who is destructive and who cannot manage their emotions, that they're throwing temper tantrums every time something doesn't go their way? Number 2, flexible personality. Okay, someone who's rigid and crystallized in their personality, where it's my way or the highway, I cannot think beyond these borders. They don't have the ability or desire to grow, to see other person's perspectives, to gain insight and learn from others and say, oh, I can see from your perspective where you're coming from there. Again, doesn't mean someone always has to agree with you, but do they have a flexible personality? Are they an active listener within that personality, or rigid? I see a lot of people in relationships, I do premarital counseling, that run into this problem. And I've also counseled and continue to counsel married couples. These are red flags we see early that don't get better. They magnify, especially when the storms of life come, especially when children come, pets, responsibilities, pressures at work, pressures in life, financial problems, loss of a job, grieving the loss of a loved one. You need someone who is emotionally disciplined, who can problem solve, right? And be calm in the storm. Flexible personality, be able to go with where the storm is taking you so that you can manage and regulate and get stabilized again. Okay, so this doesn't mean, you know, everything's not going to be Hollywood romance all the time. People as couples face real life situations, and you want to face them together with someone who you can trust, emotional discipline, okay, and flexible personality. Consistent. That goes with number 1 and number 2. Are they consistent? Do you see that they're a person who makes a statement? And of course, there's always outliers, right? There's always outliers. We give grace and we're flexible with outliers. But for the large part of time that you observe this person, are they consistent with how they carry themselves? You know, do they put on a sort of facade in front of other people, but they're different behind closed doors? That's just one example. Are they consistent with their personality or their word? For example, there are a plethora of other examples I could give, but of course we need to make these videos bite-sized. Okay, so fill in the blank. Consistency, especially with people who are struggling with insecure attachment styles while that person is working on their insecure attachment style. Being with someone who's inconsistent can really magnify that feeling of unsafety. You want to feel safe in your relationship. You want to feel emotionally safe in your relationship and secure in your relationship. Someone who's inconsistent, who's all over the place, and you cannot trust their word, you cannot trust them to show up on time, even for something very simple, You want to look at that. Again, these are areas that people can work on, and it's not criticism, it is not judgment, it's observation. Remember, you're choosing to spend the rest of your life with someone. If you are a Christian woman who's dating with the intention of marry, you have to select well. Not perfect, because nobody's perfect. You're not perfect, right? So these are areas, if you see this in yourself, you can work on these areas, okay? Integrity. Is this person a person of their word? Do they speak with integrity? What is their personal value system? Not just how they interact with you. How do they interact with you, your family, if it gets that far in the dating process, their family, their colleagues, their coworkers? I continue to see this as an issue that comes up with couples. And so you need to look at them as yellow and or red flags and address them right away. Don't ignore them, because they don't get better, they get bigger and they get magnified if this is an area that is adversely affecting you. And lastly, transparency and honesty. Sorry, I had something on my screen here. Transparency and honesty. Even if it makes him look bad, even if it makes him a little ashamed or uncomfortable, he's transparent. He's honest. He doesn't talk in a way that makes him look good. You know, he talks in a way that covers himself and makes himself always look polished. Okay? Even if it doesn't make him look well, his personal integrity is honesty. Or his personal value, is honesty and transparency. Okay, those are just 5. Of course, I didn't run the gamut of the entire universe of all the other positive traits. I'll come out with something down the road, but those are just 5 things you want to look at, because I continue to see these things come up as a really big problem that people ignore. And it follows you way into your marriage and way into having children. So you want to have a conversation. And if it's uncomfortable and you don't know where to start, of course, start in prayer. Relationship with God is first and foremost priority. And go to premarital counseling. Go see a counselor. Learn the tools. And if this person is unwilling and unable for whatever the reason is, keep moving, Christian woman. Keep moving, because that means that person is in their walk at a certain part of their journey where they're not ready yet. Okay, when you share a life with someone, you have to be really grounded in who you are, so that you can carry on through the years. Okay, because there's going to be a lot of imperfect times that come. All right, and of course, a lot of beautiful times that come along the way. Okay, I'm rushing because I have to go. Have a beautiful evening or day wherever you are, Christian woman. See you next time.